Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm JB and today I'm going to be talking to you about macOS Catalina 10.15, which was released back in October this year. This is the latest version of macOS and it comes with many new features which I'll be discussing and covering, and also some surprises. The surprises being that number one, 32-bit applications will no longer be supported. So what I would highly recommend that you do before you do an upgrade or a clean installation is that you take a backup using either Time Machine, or if you use any other third-party programs, just take a backup of it. And what you can also do is if you go into the menu bar and then you do a search for system information, go into system information and then look for software and then scroll down to applications, let it load, and then what you'll notice is that there'll be a column that will say 64-bit, and then it will say whether it's 64-bit. There'll be a yes if the application is 64-bit, and if it says no, then those applications are 32-bit. Now just make a note of all those applications in this list that are not 64-bit because they won't work, and I guess you will figure out whether they're important to you or not, and whether you want to wait for the developers to upgrade these applications to 64-bit. I mean, I took a little while before I did my upgrade to Catalina because there was a few programs that weren't that were still 32-bit, and eventually what happened is the developers for those programs managed to update them to 64-bit. So definitely take a backup of your operating system, and also just make sure that you check system information for which applications are 32-bit. Another thing is that iTunes is no longer supported on macOS Catalina. I mean, iTunes has been supported on macOS since 2001. So on Catalina, they've completely stopped the support for iTunes, and it's been split into 3 applications. So you've got music, you've got podcast, and you've got TV. And what will happen is if you do an upgrade, all your music will go into music, all your podcasts purchased from the iTunes store will go into the podcast application, and all movies as well purchased from the iTunes store will go into TV. So all that will be done automatically by the operating system once you upgrade. And also if you do a clean installation, let's say if you do a Time Machine restore, it will figure out what to do with all those files and put them in the right applications. Now also what you need to be aware of are the general requirements and system requirements for macOS Catalina. So this is a screenshot from Apple's website, and it tells you what you need to be aware of and what you need before you start using macOS Catalina. So yeah, I'll put this link onto the description of the video so that you can just go to it and just double check everything before you go for macOS Catalina. Right, I'm going to check out the music app, and as you can see, the iTunes store is still there, but it would only allow you to purchase music. If you need to purchase podcast or TV programs, then you have to go into the podcast app or into the TV program, and that will allow you to purchase all the stuff that you need to purchase. But yeah, the iTunes store is still here for the music. You know, Apple Music is on here as well, and also you've got your local library with all your local files. If you don't really buy music from iTunes, then they will all appear in here. Another feature that I've also noticed is that it now supports lyrics as well. So you play a song and you click on here, and then it will eventually download the lyrics, and you can sing along to your song if you want to. Another thing that's changed is, even though my iPhone is still appearing on here, you can't actually sync content from music onto the iPhone from the music app. What you need to do for that is you need to open Finder. So you go into Finder and my iPhone appears here, and if I click on it, then as you can see, this is the old menu that used to appear on iTunes. So you can do your backups, encrypt your backups, you can mess about with the options as well on here, and it's got all your storage information for your iPhone and everything else. So yeah, that's something to be aware of, that you can't sync your content directly from the music app anymore. You have to do all your iPhone syncing from Finder. Now if we open the podcast app, once again, it looks very similar to the one on your iPhone and on iOS 13, and all the information is here. I mean, I haven't got any podcasts, but all your data will appear in the right menu, and you can also purchase directly any content that you need directly from here and download from here. That's another thing to be aware of. If we open the TV app, once again, all your movies and TV shows will appear in the right categories, and also anything that you've downloaded from the iTunes store, which was a TV program or a TV show, will appear on here. And as you can see as well, Apple TV Plus is on here, which is Apple's new streaming service, very similar to Netflix and Disney Plus and all the rest of them. So yeah, you can sign up to that on here as well, try it for free, and all the content for that is all available through the Apple TV new app. One of the new most exciting features on macOS Catalina has got to be SideCar, and this just also highlights the strength of the macOS ecosystem, because with SideCar, what you can do is you can use your iPads which are compatible as an extension to your Mac's display. And also it also supports the Apple Pencil, and at the moment not every single application is currently supported to use SideCar, but the ones that are listed here are all the ones that work right now. But I'm pretty sure that with time there will be other applications that will be supported with SideCar. Now also with SideCar, there are some system requirements that have to be met before you can actually use it. So you need to make sure that your Macs are on Catalina and all your iPads are on iPadOS 13. And you need to make sure that your Apple ID is signed into both devices and also using two-factor authentication. And with SideCar, you can use it either wirelessly or by using the USB Lightning port connected from your Mac going into your iPads. Now what you need to make sure is that when you use it with the wire or when it's wired, you need to make sure that your iPad is set to trust your Mac. And if you're going to use it over Wi-Fi or wirelessly, then both devices must be within 10 meters of each other and have Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and also the option for hand off to be switched on. Now if we go into system preferences, there's also now, first of all, system preferences looks quite new. It looks brand new because there's a few new menus that have been added. But if you go into the SideCar menu, from here it allows you to enable the Apple Pencil, and also you can mess about with touch bar and the sidebar. And if I had an iPad, then this would have been enabled to connect to SideCar and also use your iPad, or you can connect to your iPad using the Apple menu, going into the AirPlay menu, and then from here your iPad will appear and you can connect or extend your MacBook display. But yeah, unfortunately this is something that I can't demonstrate right now because I haven't got an iPad. But eventually in the future, when I make a video on the Apple ecosystem, I will be talking more in depth about SideCar and also show you how it works properly. Alright, so system preferences on macOS Catalina has also got a new look. Interface still looks the same, but they've added a few more applications on here. So for example, the Apple ID one, I mean, I'm not going to go into mine because of privacy, but once you go into the Apple ID, from there it will just show you an overview of your account, your name, phone, email, password and security, payment and shipment. And you've also got options for iCloud as before, where you can choose what you want to back up to your iCloud account, and also just shows you a list of all your devices that are attached to your Apple ID. Also on general, what you can do from here is that you now got the option to do auto, whether auto display for light or dark mode. So you can do that, or you can either choose just light and dark as before. So that's something that you can actually choose for yourself. And obviously with this, what it will do is it will work according to the sunrise and sunset of whatever location that you are. So that's something to check out on there. So you got that on there. Actually, I'm going to put my button back to light because I prefer that. So you've got that on there. We've also got screen time. So what I've noticed is a lot of the iOS 13 applications have now made their way into macOS Catalina. So screen time works exactly the same way that it works on your iPhone. So that's on there. I mean, I've not switched on my one just yet, but that is something that you can do at your own time, at your own leisure time, when you want to switch on screen time to get some information on how much you use your device and how much you pick it up. And if you want to put any restrictions on there as well, you can do that by using screen time. And yeah, you know, you've got things like SideCar that we spoke about already. And yeah, from this section here, that is pretty much it. Find My is another application that's making its way onto macOS. I mean, I'm not going to open mine for privacy, but if I just take you over to the Apple website, with this, it's just an application that will allow you to find your devices if you've lost them, or if you want to erase them because you won't be able to find them again. And one of the best features about Find My is that what can actually happen here is that even if your devices are off, surrounding devices in the area can still send signals to your device that is actually switched off, and it will send encrypted signals back to your Apple ID to allow you to still find the location of your devices. I mean, as you can see from the Apple website, it explains all this down here. So when you have some time, I would definitely advise you to read this. But I believe that this only happens if you have a Mac that has the T2 chip on it. And you also need to have two Apple devices linked to your Apple ID for this to work. So this is definitely worth reading into. And I would definitely advise you to spend some time on this as well. So the macOS Mail app has got some new features that I wanted to quickly go through with you. The two main ones really being able to block a sender by clicking on their name. So for example, if I go into here and I click down on the down arrow, and if I click on block contact, what will happen is I will no longer receive any emails in future from the sender here. And what will happen is it will just go into the bin and also into the junk folder. So that is one of the main features that has been updated onto the macOS Mail app. And also, you've now got the option to completely unsubscribe from any mailing list that you're part of. So there's a new option that appears right there, and you can just click on that and get yourself removed from the mailing list. So I'm just going to open the Notes app on macOS Catalina. And because this is not the first time that I've opened the app, what you will notice is there's some new features on Notes on Catalina. Now, for example, the first time that you open it, you are going to be presented with this screen here, and it just shows you some of the new features that come with it. Like, for example, you can add almost anything now, capture information like maps, photos, and more. You can note to self or with anybody. You can now share your notes with other people and make changes, and they can make changes to your notes and give them permissions to do so. And you can organize your thoughts, which means that you can format your notes with tables, titles, checklists, and other things as well. Now, one other thing that I've noticed as well is that there is now a gallery view that's been added to the Notes app. So you could either have it like this as a list, or if you go into this and click into the gallery icon, this is also what you can have when you're checking your notes. So if we go back to this, and one thing that I noticed as well is that the search is now much more powerful, and you can now share, you can now search for suggested searches such as shared notes, locked notes, notes with checklists, drawings, scanned documents, and notes with attachments. What you can also do now is, for example, if you've got a checklist and you've got bullet points, like this, what you can do is when you go into the notes preferences, right, and you click on automatically sort checked items, what will happen is as you're completing these tasks that you've set up, every time you put a check on one of them, it's going to go down to the bottom to say that, you know, it's been completed. And you don't have to leave it on, and you can take it off by going back into system preferences and doing that as well. But yeah, these are some of the new features that I noticed that are on the Notes app. And yeah, do you know what, to be honest with you, compared to the one that I've used before, I like actually what they've done with this, because it's just so much more powerful, and it gives you so much more room to create notes. And then if you want to find these notes, then it's pretty much more easy to find them now. And you can literally add images and attachments now and just start searching for them, and they'll show up. So I actually do like this new version. So the Reminders app is another app that's got a new design. When you first open it, you'll be presented with this screen here. It will just show you the latest features that have been added to the Reminders app on Catalina. So you've got a brand new interface, quick creation, and easy organizing while using smart lists like today and flagged, or organized by grouping a list or reminders. So if I quickly open my Reminders app, as you can see, I've got 2 reminders here. One thing that you will notice as well is, as you create a brand new reminder, so let's say if I go into here, create a brand new reminder, it now gives you these 2 options where you can add a date or also add a location. And for example, if you've already got reminders that are created, if you just click on the title, if you move the cursor to the title, you'll notice that you can you can add a few more things to edit your current reminders. But yeah, that's really pretty much it. New interface, and then you can add all these other options to your current reminders. You can now also add attachments as well. That's another thing that they've added to the reminders. And yeah, it just makes life a bit more easy. The macOS Photos app has also had a new design on macOS Catalina, and it's looking very identical to the one on iOS 13. So as you can see, I've got 2 pictures here. And what you can also now do is there's a new button on here which will now either show you the original size, or you can do thumbnails. That is something that you can do on here as well. There's memories on here. I mean, I haven't got so much pictures on here, so it's not really going to show you much. And but there's many other options on the sides that you can click on to see what's going on. As these pictures were imports, they're showing up on the imports page as well. But if I go back into photos and I click on one of these images, they've added some new tools on the edit tab. So if you're looking to do some minor editing and you don't need to use something like Photoshop, for example, you can mess about with some of the tools on here, and yeah, just clean up the image and make it look nicer, and change whatever you need to change, whether it's the levels, the curves, to sharpen the image, reduce the noise reduction. These are things that you can now do by using the editing tool that's been added to the Photos app on macOS Catalina. So on macOS Catalina, Safari has an updated start page, and what happens now is you can now see favorites, frequently visited, and Siri suggestions that show relevant websites in your browsing history, recently visited sites, bookmarks, reading list, iCloud tabs, links you receive in messages. Now, because this is a new account that I'm working from, it's not going to show you some of the stuff that I've listed there, but this is definitely a brand new look. And also another feature that I've noticed that they've added on here. So let's say, for example, when I play a video, what you can do is, let me just unmute this. What you can do is you can actually control click on here, and you can do enter picture mode by doing this from the tab. Because before you could only do it from especially on YouTube, there used to be there's an option on here where you can do picture in play, but now that's changed, so you can do it directly from the tab as well. And yeah, that's one of the 2 new features that I like from macOS Catalina on Safari. Another new feature that is added to macOS Catalina is voice control. And with voice control, this allows you to fully control the whole operating system just by using your voice. And this was added mainly for people with limited mobility and other conditions that may stop them from fully using macOS Catalina. So to switch this on, what you need to do is you need to go into system preferences and then go into accessibility and then scroll down into voice control. And then once you're here, because I'm using the mic for my MacBook Pro, I'm not going to switch this on. But when you switch this on, what will happen is it will ask you for your admin username and password. And once you type that in, the software will download on here. And once the software downloads, you will then be able to use voice control, because what will happen is there'll be a microphone sign right here that will appear right here. But I'm now going to demonstrate how this works. So just hang on for a couple of minutes and we'll get cracking. Open Google Chrome. Show numbers. 9. Delete. Type BBC. Show numbers. 20. Scroll down. Scroll down. Quit Google Chrome. Hey guys, to finish off, I just wanted to mention something called Project Catalyst, which Apple is currently working on. And this project is all about Apple porting iPad OS apps or iPad applications onto macOS Catalina, which means that in future you'll be able to run many more iPad apps on macOS Catalina. At the moment, if we go into the developer website and if we scroll down here, you see that already a few applications from iPad OS allow you to run onto macOS. So if you just go into the App Store and you type in Twitter, which was never there before, you will now be able to run this onto macOS. And I think, in my opinion, this is happening because there are a lot of rumors that Apple are looking to move away from Intel and they want to bring in their own processors. And I think this will just smooth over the transition when we get to that period. But once again, I want to thank you for watching my video. Please hit the like button, please subscribe and leave some comments, and I will carry on posting videos in the coming days, weeks and months. But thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Peace.